out to the ball game. Swing, batter, swing, batter, swing, batter, swing. Swing, batter, swing, batter, swing, batter, swing. Yeah. Swing, batter, swing, batter, swing, batter, swing. Swing, batter, swing, batter, swing, batter, swing. Yeah.
From the greatest city in the world, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Hello, everybody. It's me, Mr. Brewtown. I know you're saying, man, where have you been? We've been missing you a whole bunch. Nobody's out there talking about the Milwaukee Brewers. Well, I'm back. I took some time off. I told you last year I just needed to step back a little bit. Needed to kind of look at where the show was going, where I wanted it to go, and I needed a rest. You guys, that's all that happened. I didn't die. I didn't run off and become Donald Trump's campaign manager. It didn't happen. I'm not the guy who hooked up Donald Trump with the Russians. That wasn't me. No, I was home, just kind of relaxing, getting ready for this season. The 2007 Milwaukee Brewers. Man, I'm pumped. I'm pumped. You know, every year I kind of look at it during the off season. I look at the Brewer lineup and I'm like, man, we're just going to be so bad. Why are we so bad? And then I start getting pumped. And then you watch your first spring training game. You go, man, this team's not bad. It's got a lot of bad, but it's not bad. And then you start getting really excited. And then you start looking at it and say, you know what? I think this could be the surprise team in the National League. But not this year. Not this year. I'm telling you, this team's as good as it was last year. That's not saying much. Though the Brewers did perform a little bit better than I think a lot of people thought they were going to. If any of you people out there think that somehow this team's going to go 81-81 with the team that they have right now, it's not going to happen. They're going to win 1, 2, maybe 3 games more. That's it. Some of the players, young players, are going to have better seasons, and you're going to see some guys step out and say, hey, I'm ready to play every day. I'm ready to be a star. And the Brewers got guys. They've got guys that are going to be future stars. It's just they got to be able to put it all together. And I'm going to say it right off the bat, the first show of the season. We don't have that coaching staff and a manager that can take that team to that level that we need them to go. This is where the Brewers, everything the Brewers have done this year, last year, and partway through the year before that was to build up, that 4 or 5 year build up. Craig Counsell's not the man. And I know you love him. I love him too. I loved him as a player. This is a kid who was not a superstar. This is not a guy who was one of the best players. This is a guy who just did all the small things. He did just enough to make the team. And then he found ways to contribute. And he played on some very, very good teams. He played here in Milwaukee. This is a guy whose dad worked for the Milwaukee Brewers. This is a kid who was raised at County Stadium. This is a kid that was the bat boy for Robin Yount and Paul Molitor, Cecil Cooper, and all the rest of those great Milwaukee Brewers. As a manager, he's okay. He's great if you just want to lose. If you want to be a last-place team, hey, Craig Counsell, guess what? You're our man. But I'm telling you, and I know people are going to disagree with me, because some people already have disagreed with me on this. Craig Counsell's not the guy. The coaching staff that you have is not the coaching staff that's going to be able to help the manager get to the World Series. The Brewers got to do something about that. They seriously got to do something about that. They got to be able to figure out how can we get a Terry Francona or a Bud Black. And I'm just throwing out 2 names. I happen to like both those coaches. This is the type, we need experienced managers. We need managers that have been there before. And Brewers got to figure out some way to do this. And I'm going to start the season off doing that. I'm going to start the season off saying Craig Counsell's not the man. Now, I hope he changes my mind. I hope he goes out there and all of a sudden, hey, this guy's doing unbelievable things as a manager. He's making every single player on that team so much better. I hope he does. I want him to, but it's not going to happen. And there you go. We're going to start the season off first show. Hey, guess what? He's already a Debbie Downer. He doesn't have the Brewers winning the National League Central. Those days are done. I've drank enough Kool-Aid over the last, 40-some-odd years. The Brewers, they're going to get there. I like what Stearns is doing with this team. I love the fact that he's trading for really good prospects. We got to get those prospects up to that level. And then the Brewers are going to be good for a long time if we keep David Stearns or somebody like David Stearns. We don't need to be training for broken down veterans. And we don't need to be signing guys like Matt Garza. Okay? We just don't need to be signing guys like Matt Garza or Jeff Suppan or Randy Wolf. Sometimes, ladies and gentlemen, you look at the free agent thing and everybody, hey, sign this guy. He's the best of the bunch. But that doesn't mean he's going to be good. Sometimes you just got to stay away from the free agent market altogether. There's nobody there that's going to make our team better. There's nobody out there that is, hey, guess what? This guy is going to be a can't-miss superstar. And if there's none out there, and the guy isn't going to make your team where there's a lot of question marks, like Matt Garza and Jeff Suppan and Randy Wolf, you stay away from them. You just do. Why waste money? So there you go. We're going to take a really, really, really super quick look here at the upcoming 2007 season for the 2017 season for the Milwaukee Brewers. Now, we all know that Prince Fielder, Jonathan LaCroix, and Carlos Gomez are all long gone from that 2011 team. Ryan Braun, though, he remains in place as the Brewers franchise player. The truth be told, Braun would have been traded by now if he wasn't a 33-year-old baseball player with past PED ties who's owed at least $80 million over the next 4 seasons. Even so, Braun is still a capable middle-of-the-bat, order-of-the-bat. He is the Brewers' biggest bat. He still is. Jonathan Villar, great player, is going to be really good. There's a couple other guys on the team that are going to be good. They're going to have a good bat. But Ryan Braun is still the big bat. And that's one of the remaining things that the Brewers are going to need to do. They're going to have to figure out a way to get rid of that contract, which means you got to get rid of Ryan Braun. Nobody's going to eat that contract. They're going to force the Milwaukee Brewers to eat that contract. They're going to say, listen, we'll give you prospects. We're going to give you what you want, but you got to eat 80% of that contract, which is going to hurt you 2-3 years down the road because you still got 4 years left on that contract. So you're going to have to figure out a way because guys like Jonathan Villar and some of these other good young ball players are going to want some money too. They're going to get to that level. They say, hey, listen, I want some money or get rid of me. And if you got all the money tied up in a Ryan Braun or a majority of the money, you're going to have to kind of get a little inventive. And that doesn't always work. And besides, guy's 33 years old. And once you get over a certain age, 31, 32 years old, everything is downhill. And I'm not saying that Ryan Braun's all of a sudden only going to hit 15 home runs. But you get to that point where coming back from injuries get a little tougher. And you know what happens when you got veterans and it gets a little tougher to come back. You know what happens. Ryan Braun's done it once before. So that's the thing we're going to watch. We're going to watch to see how do the Brewers do this. How is Stearns going to throw him out as an attractive offer? Hey, somebody pick him up. He's going to help your team. You're in the hunt. We're not in the hunt. You're in the hunt. Why don't you take Ryan Braun? And if they can figure out a way, and what I would really love to see, and this is going out to Ryan Braun. So if anybody out there listening knows Ryan Braun, and I know there are people that work for the Milwaukee Brewers organization that listen to this show. I've been told that. Ryan Braun, you need to sit down. Now, you talk all the time about how you love Milwaukee and the fans and everything else. Do us a favor. Rework that contract. Rework it in favor of the Milwaukee Brewers so the Brewers can trade you. If you really appreciate the time that you've had here in Milwaukee and how the fans, and I was one of them, by the way, Ryan Braun, that stuck with you. Renegotiate that contract. Help us. Seriously, you will be well loved for years. Not just for what you did on the field, but what you did. That would be a sign of class. And so I'm saying, Ryan Braun, you need to do that. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, wow. First one of the season. It's already kind of pissing people off. We'll be right back, folks. You're listening to the big show. We call it Brewtownsports.
This isn't the players' team.
It doesn't belong to the guys in the clubhouse.
This team doesn't belong to the manager or the coaches or the front office.
It doesn't belong to the GM
or even the owner.
It was here long before we arrived.
And it will be here after we're gone.
We are simply caretakers.
Entrusted with a legacy.
Standing on the shoulders of those who came before.
This is Wisconsin's team. This is your team.
It belongs to all of us.
This is our team.
This is Wisconsin's team.
Este es nuestro equipo. This is our team. This team is mine.
And mine.
This is Wisconsin's team.
This is Milwaukee's team.
It belongs to us.
This team belongs to me. And me. And me. And me too.
This is our team.
This is Wisconsin's team.
This is your team, Wisconsin.
This is your team. This is your team.
This is y'all's team.
Este es el equipo de Wisconsin. This is Wisconsin's team.
This is Wisconsin's team.
This is your team.
And welcome back to the big show. You can find us on Twitter and Facebook. On Twitter, it's Brewtownsports, and Facebook is Mr. Brewtown. You can also join the group. It's called the True Blue Brew Crew. It's a great group. It really is. It's a great group. Come up. That's what we're talking, Brewer baseball. It's a great place to come and talk Brewers baseball with everybody in the group. You can listen to the show at baseballtalkradio.com, Spreaker, Podomatic, Player FM, Stitcher, TuneIn, and iTunes.com. And I hope the 405media.com, Super Live Talk and Righteous Podcast. If you want to email the show, you can do that at MrBrewtown78 at gmail.com. You know, you heard that commercial, that little break that we took. That is the promotional commercial that the Brewers are doing for 2007. Every year the Brewers figure out some way, some little thing to get people excited about the Milwaukee Brewers. And this is one of them. This is something that the Milwaukee Brewers do as good as anybody in baseball, is market this team, that there's the future. The future is coming. That's what they did for years. When Mark Antanasio took over the team, that was it. The future is coming. We're going to have Prince. We're going to have Ryan Braun. We're going to have Corey Hart, Ricky Weeks. We're going to have J.J. Hardy. All these other guys. And we're going to add little things here and there. We're going to go to the playoffs. We're going to win divisions. Now, they went to the playoffs in 2008. They went to the playoffs in 2011. Almost made the World Series, which seriously would have been unbelievable for the city of Milwaukee. So they market themselves really good. They don't have a problem getting people to come to the games. And this type of stuff is so great. I love it that they're saying, hey, this team doesn't belong to us. Well, it does, but you're a part of it. The Brewers do that as good as anybody. And there's a lot of things that are wrong with the Milwaukee Brewers, a lot of things that I complain about with the Milwaukee Brewers. But this is one of the things that I'm proud. I'm proud of the job and the marketing that the Brewers do. And this isn't new. This is something that I think that we've done very well here in Milwaukee. We've always found little ways to get people excited about the Milwaukee Brewers, and that's a new one for this year. Let's take a look at the standings as we stand today in the Cactus League. Arizona, you got Oakland at 10-5. The Los Angeles Angels, who jumped up to a quick start in the Cactus League, have now kind of evened off. They're 11-6. Milwaukee is now at 11-7. The Chicago White Sox are 10-7. Seattle is 10-7. The Los Angeles Dodgers of Los Angeles, California, they're 9-9. Arizona is 8-8. Cleveland is 8-8. Colorado is 8-8. Kansas City is 8-8. The Cubs are 6-8. Cincinnati's 8-12. San Francisco 7-11. San Diego is 6-10. And Texas is 5-11. I say it every year. Don't base what a team's going to do during the season on their record in spring training, because a record means nothing. It seriously means nothing. It's what you're doing with the players and who you're developing, and are your pitchers stretching out? Are they getting into shape? Are they going to be ready for the season? It's the last couple of games. That's how you base a team. Because if you look, does anybody really think Oakland's going to win? Does anybody think that San Diego? We all know they're going to lose. Grapefruit League, Florida. New York Yankees 13-4. St. Louis is 12-4. Pittsburgh is 12-5. Baltimore is 11-7. Minnesota's 9-6.